Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another updated video here for the Nasdaq. Yes, how can I start here, honestly? We probably have to be on the side of caution that we are still in a correction, okay? And that would be the minute fourth wave we are still in. And the minute fourth wave, that is, consists of an ABC structure or a WXY, where the Y wave probably can turn into either a triangle, could be a sharp correction, it could be like any kind of corrective structure, depends on how we count this here in the beginning here. Because you could label this as a diagonal, that would mean we have a double zigzag correction to the downside. And the Y wave in this scenario can either be a triangle, or we could get our ABC structure to the downside in the Y wave. We don't know that yet, okay? I just want to make you aware of the scenario that probably we still have further downside continuation, and that we finished only wave A, that this would be wave B, and I'm going to zoom in the details, or go a little bit in detail here in a second. But if we consider this still be an ongoing correction, we need still more downside, depending on this is either an ABC or a WXY, as I said, and how the structure here is developing, okay? It could be very different corrective structures in here, okay? And we don't know that until we really break out of our range that is forming here. And we are inside here kind of no man's land, because the structure inside here right now, we only have 3 waves, okay? And let me add here also, if I'm going to zoom in right now, normally, and you can see how I labeled it here, that normally we need, or the chart would look better with one more high in the 5 of C of B. It could be that the 3, 4, 5 is already done here, but it's a little bit short in my view, okay? It's a little bit short because you compare probably the wave 2 here with the corrective structure of wave 4. And normally you want the wave 4 to be a little bit longer in time than the wave 2, which at the moment is not happening, because if we consider, and then we have to really zoom in, if we consider, but it doesn't make any difference, probably the 4, 5 is done here. We don't know that, okay? And it could be already done that our wave B has topped here and the C is finished here, and we come back down lower. But I have to say the price or the chart would look better if we get one more high. So, and I'm going to add some Fibonacci retracement levels that should give us a little bit more clue, so that we know that. Let me just put up the 4th wave retracement. So, and we now still, or we held here the 50% retracement level. But I have to add here, as long as we're holding above the 61.8, and that's a very important target, the 61.8 here at 23,380 needs to hold, okay? It could be an ABC structure, but we need to hold here, because a break above the 61.8 FIB retracement, or below the 61.8 FIB retracement, lowers the probabilities that this is still a wave 4, and we do expect upside continuation. So we need really, for upsides, we really need to hold in that level here, in this area. Try to make it as accurate as possible, so that we know that we really need to hold here, okay? We really need to hold here and go higher from here. Probably, okay, this is already the 1, 2 of the 5, we get higher and higher, and we finish our wave up here, the B wave up here. What the bears in this scenario needs to protect is the 88.2 FIB retracement at 23,946, because whenever the 88.2 is touched, I do expect a retracement upside continuation afterwards, and taking the previous highs at around 24,069. Is it right? Yeah, 69 around. So that's the scenario, okay? We really have to see how this is developing here. Either if we get one more high, or the B wave is already done. I don't know. And if I'm not wrong, please correct me if I am. Tomorrow we have NVIDIA earnings, I think, and let's see how this is playing out. I mean, I could be wrong, and maybe I misunderstood something, or I read it wrongly, but please correct me if I'm wrong here. It could flip the market to the upside, definitely, but as long as we're holding the 61.8, there is still upside continuation in my view, okay? Whenever we break that, it would suggest that probably we already started our decline to the downside here somehow, okay? That's at the moment not clear, and therefore we need to observe our previous low here at around 23,038. That's a low of sorts which the bulls need to protect. If the bulls cannot protect that low, I mean, we could flip over and then we could say that we probably are also or still in our minute fourth wave correction. And I have to tell you, either it's an ABC structure or we are turning this into WXY with either a sharp ABC structure in the Y wave or any kind of corrective structure here and move higher from here, okay? That's at the moment really hard to predict what's going on inside this range. But I think the move to the downside here will give us a little bit more information. We need to determine what's going on. I just want to make you aware of the scenario, either one more high and we roll over afterwards, or you can also probably say 1, 2, 1, 2 to the upside. But I have to say, I'm still missing our healthy fourth wave pullback here. And that's at the moment still on the table, that whenever we break our low, can draw a trend line or line here that we know that. Whenever we break that low, the probabilities are high for the market to really go lower. And I have added also some Fibonacci extension targets to the downside. If I compare our wave C, comparing it to wave A, we have a target to the downside at the 100% extension at 22,627, or also down to 21,981. I just want to bring up very shortly my volume profile here. That gives us some information also I need to talk about. Oops, because we still have declining volume, okay? We still have declining volume. You can see that we have declining volume to the downside. On the short term, okay, it could turn. The next volume spikes could go higher if we move to the upside, but we still have lower volume in each sequence we are trading here, and that is at the moment not that what we want. And you can see that also in the area where we have this area of interest on our highs here, there is a lot of selling volume up here, okay? That's a lot of the selling volume here compared to buying volume. You don't see any buying volume really here in this area. And the next support could be value area low of the 1 hour value area low at 23,338, 339 around, okay? So that could be the next support, but I would never call that, or I really don't want to call that a wave 4 anymore. So I think whenever we break here to the downside, whenever we break to the downside, our 61.8 here at 23,379, that would open the door for lower prices. So what else can we add here? We can take a look at the liquidity right now. Probably we see something there. Okay, in this area we have only a little bit of liquidity below the price right now. That's not very much and not very relevant. But the next, liquidity cluster comes a little bit below our lows here at 23,037. That's a very big liquidity cluster sitting down here. And then the next high liquidity areas come into play between our 23.6 and the 38.2 flip retracement, which are good targets, or which are optimal targets for being a wave 4 of minute degree, okay? And then from here, I do definitely expect another move to the upside. Definitely no worries about that at the moment. So that would prove, or that would give confidence of this count if we reverse out of this area. But for now, we have to be on the side of caution in this area here, okay? The next fib retracement resistance areas above us are the 61.8, first of all, 23,672, then below our swing high at 23,655, yes. Then we have the 78.6 at 23,946, and then we come into play our next target to the upside, the 88.2 FIB retracement. If we really start the decline right now here, okay, that could be an indication that we are in this fourth wave of minute degree. Okay, I think that's the short update for today. If you have questions, as always, leave a comment. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really like the video, please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any further updates. Thanks a lot and have a good evening. Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.